Now, Calvin Kattar is an interesting guy. Okay, now I'll start this off by saying right out the gate, I'm actually a Calvin Kattar fan. Always look forward to seeing him fight. Ever since I first saw him step into the UFC and saw him fight, I was a big fan of him right away. Really liked his style. Really liked the way he carried himself. A true professional. So he's an interesting guy because you watch him and it's easy to start to really be intrigued by the way he fights, the things that he does, what he does well. He does at a very high level, and he does a lot of things really well. You know, you go out there and you look at his boxing, man, very crisp. You know what I mean? The technical work is there, and he does all the little things. He doesn't load up on his punches at all. He's got a really educated jab. He controls distance well. He knows how to counter multiple ways, right? He'll counter with multiple shots, and he'll counter at multiple with different rhythms with the timing. Sometimes he'll counter on the same beat. Sometimes he'll counter on a 1-2 beat. So he does a lot of things really well. And you look at him, and you're like, man, this guy can put it together. Big for the division, right? You look at 145. This guy's a monster. He's like 5'11". He's got a good reach on him. He goes in there and he can really hurt some guys. He can tear them up. But here's the thing. He's missing one key ingredient. And it's the ability to defend leg kicks. Okay? I mean, and it's kind of odd, right? Because you look at him, he used to train at Sit Yung Dong. I believe that's the way you say it. It's one of the best Muay Thai gyms in the entire world, right? He used to train there. And he's not good at defending leg kicks. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even attempt to defend them. He just eats them, doesn't even really check them. Right, which is kind of crazy that you would come from a gym like that and not even check those kicks. Now I get he doesn't train there anymore, but he put in a lot of work there, right? He trained there for some years, doesn't even defend leg kicks. Okay, and he's from that Diaz brothers school of the leg kick defending. But it's odd. I mean, you look in that first fight that he got exposed was against Moicano, right? Got his legs just tore up. Then you look at it, Fish Gold. Tore his legs up. Yeah, he got the stoppage against him, but go back and watch that fight. It was early in that fight, right away in the first round, right out the gate. Fish Gold was tearing his legs up. Lamas was landing some leg kicks. Eventually, that was like the first time ever. All of a sudden, you see him check a leg kick against Ricardo Lamas, and then he fought against Zabit. Zabit was landing some as well. So you look at it. And it's huge, right? Now you're coming into this fight against May 9th against Jeremy Stephens. Okay, and guess what Jeremy Stephens does well? He kicks legs well. Okay? Like Calvin Kattar has got everything it takes, man, to fight at the highest level. Okay? Like you look at him, now go picture him going in there against Volkanovski. Okay? You remember what Volkanovski was doing to Max Holloway's legs? That's it. Game over. He'll never last. Kattar would never last 5 rounds against him. He'd probably have to start trying to switch his stance up in the second round because his lead leg would be getting torn to pieces. So he's really, really got to shore that up. And I'm really interested to see coming into this fight if it's something that he's been working on and really preparing for. I mean, it's a glaring weakness. It's got exposed to a high level in like 3 out of his last 4 fights, I would say. And he only checked 1 kick. Everything else he does well. You know what I mean? His takedown defense is good. I haven't seen his jiu-jitsu tested, but his takedown defense is good. And his boxing is beautiful. You know, that jab. That jab that he shoots out. The way he handled Shane Burgos. And look at what Shane has done since then, which has made that performance by Kattar that much more impressive. He went in there and put on a clinic, and he showed how tough he was because Burgos was landing some nasty shots, leg kicks, body shots. Calvin Kattar ended up putting it on him. So I'm a fan of his, man, and it'll be interesting to see coming into this fight against Stephens, knowing Stephens comes out there, and one of his things is he's got great power and he throws everything 100%. Doesn't matter if it's the left hook, the right hand, or a leg kick. When he goes out there, he's trying to do nasty damage. Okay, you remember what he did against Gilbert Melendez, right? Remember what he did against Bermudez, Chun Hu Doi? I believe his name is. Like all those dudes, man, he was tearing their legs up. I mean, Melendez was the worst. That was one of those ones that makes you cringe, right? Like when Aldo was kicked out Uriah Faber's legs. But but it'll be interesting. We'll see because he's gonna go out there. I guarantee you, Stevens is going out there with that game plan. He's no bum. He's a smart fighter. Like he's gonna come out there with a solid plan, and a big part of that plan is gonna be kicking Kattar's legs and kicking them hard every single time he gets the chance. So we'll see. And if Kattar can clean that up, he's got a lot of potential in front of him. He can go a long way. So May 9th's gonna be huge. I really hope that he addresses that, or he has addressed that in his training camps, and that he comes out for this fight and he's able to show that new skill.